Hi guys, this is Parag here from Stay Strong Podcast. We are with Jantine from Netherlands. Over to you, Jantine. Please introduce yourself, your fitness background, and your professional background.
Well, hello. My name is Jantine Lasonder. My age is 59 years. Um, I'm in the Netherlands, of course. I'm loved to do sports all my life, so I'm moving around a lot. So my parents were, sometimes it was annoying to them. I grew up with a lot of sport, doing a lot of sports. First, I played field hockey. In India, that's a well-known sport,
Yes,
and
yes,
in the Netherlands, we are pretty good at it,
yes,
especially
yes.
especially the women. I
Okay,
like the way they play.
okay,
Um, I did that until I was about 30 years. Then
okay,
I got pregnant from my first child and I stopped. So I was still playing in the first team of my club.
okay.
And then I didn't sport for a long time. Having small children, that's always a bit tricky. But
Okay.
then they were getting a little bit older, and then I started to do some ice skating and cycling because speed skating in summer isn't very possible in the Netherlands, of course. And then all the skaters are hopping on their bikes and racing around to maintain strong legs and
Yes,
get on the ice again.
yes.
Well, after a while, I got injured, and then I couldn't do sports for a long time. And in recovery, I started swimming, and then I got into triathlon.
Okay,
But um, injuries kept coming. So one day I was told to go by my physiotherapist to do some more core training. And I ended up in Jaap's gym in Oldenzaal, also a small city around here.
okay,
And there I got introduced to my first kettlebell. And
okay.
so
So
I
what was that age when you got introduced?
I'm sorry.
What was your age when you got introduced first time with the kettlebells?
Oh, that is, I guess now, well, maybe, well, I went to the Apps gym, I think 5.5 years ago. Then first I didn't do any kettlebell sport thing, but I just trained some squats and deadlifts with kettlebells.
Okay,
And then one day, I did notice, of course, all the people that were training there and doing kettlebell sport. I thought they were pretty, well, lunatics. uh, but then Jaap, uh, uh, he gave me a kettlebell and showed me how to swing it, and then well, I liked the feeling of the weight on my arm. So, and that is, I guess, maybe 4.5, 5 years ago.
okay. So it was introduced very late actually. So if you're 59, maybe 54. So you
Um,
were 54 years old?
yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Interesting. And what is your professional background? Do you do sports for like what you're doing something in relation with the
Yeah.
sport or something else?
No, I am a veterinarian, and I'm somehow specialized in behavior problems for dogs.
For
But
dogs.
yeah, but I
Okay,
also do a little bit of general practice. So
okay,
yeah,
okay. That's
because I
interesting.
really
Okay,
love to be in a practice with other veterinarians. So
okay.
yeah,
So you have pets, you have dogs.
yes, I've one dog. Yeah,
Okay, okay,
yeah,
okay, okay. Wow,
yeah.
interesting.
We had animals around when I was young at my home. with my
Okay.
parents.
Okay.
So I grew up with them. I can't imagine a life without animals.
Okay. Okay.
Um,
That's
yeah.
nice. So, how did you get started with the kettlebell sport journey? It was like 4 years back. Who is your coach, and how you actually got introduced to the sporting events, like which happens nationally, internationally?
Well, my coach is Naomi Koiker,
Okay.
and she's also the coach and from the national team in the Netherlands. So she is the partner of Jaap van der Zanden, who
Okay.
first was my trainer, and then he somehow managed to get me into the class with Naomi, and from that on, I trained very hard.
Okay.
I used to train very hard in triathlon. Yeah, well, it was never enough. What I for my feeling that so it was a kind of difficult not to go too fast, and uh, I didn't see myself doing any game events in the Netherlands. But soon after I started, Corona started also.
Yes.
So I wasn't very lucky
Yes.
in
Yes.
that. But I did enter. Well, I guess it must have been 4 years ago. I did enter one event in it, there I did my first. I never had done 10 minutes snatch, but there I did my first 10 minute snatch.
Okay.
Naomi couldn't come because of Corona,
Okay.
and I felt a little bit alone. But it was so nice. The people were so nice, although we had to keep distance from each other and disinfect our hands and all the stuff
Which was
was.
this? Which was this competition?
Well, I think it was called the Kettlebell Cup,
Okay.
and just a small event. So
So that was
uh,
in
this
Netherlands?
year, yeah, it was in the Netherlands, in
Okay.
Brabant.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. 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 Great. So now, do you practice kettlebells regularly, or do you have a combination of strength training and kettlebells? How do you practice kettlebells, or do you have a dedicated coach who basically trains you with the kettlebells? If you can give a
Yeah.
little bit background, like how do you train yourself?
Well, Naomi is my coach and
Okay.
trainer,
Okay.
and we have some other trainers in the gym. Carlien Huiskes, she's world champion, and also Laurien Baanstra, she's also doing some of the training, but everything is coordinated by Naomi. So she's programming for us, and well, and asking a lot of questions, what we want to do, what we like best. Then that's very hard for me because I like everything. So I want to train everything. So um, yeah, then I'm training most of the time 3 kettlebell trainings a week, maybe 4.
Okay.
Then I do some strength training most of the time 1 or 2 times in the week.
Okay.
Um, uh, I just quitted swimming, so
Okay.
I was swimming also, but well, that's too much. So I want to do my best when I'm swimming, and then well, I feel all sore afterwards, and I don't have enough recovery time.
Okay.
So yeah,
Okay, okay, that's good. So it's really good to see that you're having a very dedicated kettlebell training going on, along with the strength training, and your coach is basically taking care of your programs and everything. So it's good to
yeah,
see, and I understand that it is very challenging for you to do multiple sports, for example, or multiple fitness activity. Rather, I would say that you're doing swimming as well as then you're doing kettlebells, then you're doing strength training. So it's too many things happening actually. So it's really nice that maybe once in a week you can keep swimming, and that can be a very good idea for you to maintain everything
yeah.
at your age. Yeah.
Well, yes, but I did fall in love with another sport.
Okay.
So uh, almost every day I do a little bit of practice of mace bell training.
Much better.
And
Okay.
I like
Okay.
the flow thing about it, so I will do that in the morning, just very light, not heavy, not too heavy mace.
Wait. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
and that's
Okay.
more because I want to practice my mind also in doing movements and uh, just
Okay.
from scratch. With kettlebell sport, you always move in a downward to an upward direction, and you're not turning around and not stepping sideways. So I find that very nice in mace bell. So
Yes. Yeah. It has other moments as well. Covered other moment as well. Yes. Okay, so nice. Now, typically what your age, generally what happens is women or even men lack motivation to lift the kettlebells, right? I mean, it's very hard. First of all, the kettlebell sport is hard, and then you have to ensure that whatever numbers you have achieved last time, you have to beat that numbers. Now, this ladder which you are climbing is very hard. So, how do you keep yourself motivated? What is the secret of you lifting kettlebells at this age 59 and still performing best whenever you get to the competitions?
yes, well, maybe I'm a bit different because I my injury that made me stop with doing triathlon, of what made me uh, do triathlon,
Yes.
were two frozen shoulders. So I came out of the cycling and the speed skating, and then, well, this must be about 10 years ago. I got two frozen shoulders at
Oh,
once. So
oh,
I
oh.
couldn't move at all. I couldn't lift my arms. I couldn't dress myself. I couldn't. Well, I was. Uh,
Frozen, yes. But what was the reason for the frozen?
well, I asked my general practitioner, and I always got the same answer that it must be menopause. So the start of menopause. Pause. That sometimes you get all kinds of inflammation in joints, muscles, and particularly frozen shoulders are a thing that uh, is seen a lot in women that are in perimenopause or just menopause. So
Yeah.
nothing could be done, and I wasn't sleeping. I was in terrible pain.
Okay.
Painkillers didn't work, so I was a total mess. Although I kept moving, walking with my dog, and I also kept working, but um, uh, somehow it took also a very long time before I could move a little bit. And I got a kind of anxiety of not being able to move. So when I got in the swimming pool and I felt, oh wow, I can move here a little bit around. My arms were drifting on the water, a little bit more floating,
Okay.
and well, so I got in the pool, and very slowly I got I was able to swim a little bit, and then I was in the pool the whole day because because I couldn't do anything else. So I was looking, when is the swimming pool open? I got into it, and because of that and anxiety about it, this didn't disappear while my shoulders were getting better. So I started to cycle and to run, and well, I couldn't stop. I just did that for 15 hours a week. So I was really into it. And then it all collapsed because I got other injuries, tendonitis in my Achilles heels. Well, you couldn't think, or it was injured. So,
Okay.
so
Okay.
that's
I understand.
how I got into the gym, and
Okay.
then yeah, really had to slow me down at this point. So I had to learn to recognize pain in my body and listen to it. So instead of skipping it and going on. So going to the gym isn't a problem for me. I love to train, but because the only thing my general practitioner came with were painkillers, and maybe you know alprazolam. It's kind of it's not a painkiller, but it's taking away anxiety.
Okay.
So I was these drugs, and that was I was already getting rid of the alprazolam, and the painkillers didn't work. So that was a very hard time, but
Okay.
uh, now I'm getting adjusted to not going as far as I did in
Okay.
training. Yeah.
Okay. No, but is your coach motivating you to lift the kettlebells when you arrive, when you come to the gym? Like generally, what happens is if you're training 3 times a week or maybe 4 times a week, sometimes at the end of the week, our training efficiency drops. So how do you maintain that training efficiency? Do you train 3 times a week kettlebells? And especially how are you on the end of the week when you want to lift the kettlebells? Are you motivated to lift? Is your body under a recovery phase? Has your body recovered from 2 or 3 workouts which you have done earlier in the week? You understand what I want to say?
Yes. Well, I think Naomi already took care of that in the program. So
Okay.
um, most of the time when we are doing a hard to do training, we will have another training uh, uh, that is more playful and short, and where we make fun with each other. And
Okay. So
uh,
just for the recovery or a little bit fun part during the workout, right?
yeah, and we do also a lot of technical things to
Okay.
improve that, because that is one of the things I really love about kettlebell, is that if you make a small adjustment, it can have a lot of you can have a lot of profit of it, and suddenly things fall in place. So what I, for example, did for a long time is overstretching my knees to get up, and it was because I wanted to lock out a kind of sharp lock, make a sharp lockout or so, and it was very hard to stop that. But when it happened, I thought, huh, what's going on?
No.
Yeah, it
Great.
felt so great. Yeah.
Okay, great. So, my next question is like before 54, you were not in touch with kettlebells or you're not lifting kettlebells, right?
No, I wasn't even
Yeah.
going to the gym or so. No, not at
Okay.
all.
Okay. Okay. But after 54, 55, at your age, now up till 59, you're lifting kettlebells. I
Yeah.
wanted to understand that before and after, what is the biggest difference what you have seen? Say, you mentioned that you were playing hockey, you mentioned that you were doing swimming, but when you got introduced to kettlebell training in your life, what are its benefit at your age, which you have not seen before 54? You understand my
Well,
question?
yes, I sure. I just have to think about how I will put it in a short sentence. um, Before I was going to the gym, I was just racing around, doing only cardio stuff, getting skinnier all the time, because that's how you get faster. The less kilograms you weigh, the faster you are. Um, I but when I got into the gym, one of the things happened was I gained muscle mass. So I when I look at a picture of me uh, after a triathlon, and now I think, oh gosh, I've got arms instead of sticks. So, and I was always also a very skinny hockey player, although I had very big legs, but I didn't had any arm muscles. So I could hit a ball very hard. So that you don't need a lot of muscle for that. back then.
Yes.
If you look at a hockey player now, you can see they are going to a gym, but that wasn't the case
Yes. Yes.
25 years ago.
Yes.
So
Yes.
it
Yes.
just started, I guess. And well, one of the things I looked at some of your podcasts was of the one of Maria Correa, the Argentinian psychologist. I think she has a very important message to women of my age, and that is you have to gain muscle mass and not and skip all the cardio, almost all the cardio, and and just train your muscles. It's let them grow. It's important.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. But post kettlebell training in past few years, what is the biggest advantage you see physically and mentally? Maybe one point you can mention.
Yeah. I also had back injuries, so
Okay.
I have very severe arthrosis in my lower back. So I was suffering from that,
Okay.
and as soon I was starting the strength training, first deadlifting,
Okay.
uh, uh, that helped a lot. But last year I am almost pain free, and I'm not, and that's I guess because I found my way how to do that with kettlebell, especially with the double kettlebells.
Okay.
Um, I found the right position because I was overstretching a lot. And when you land, the kettlebells are landing in your,
Hips. Yeah. Iliac
yeah,
crest. Huh.
you have to do this instead of this. So I trained the muscles to lock the back in this
Yes.
position,
Okay.
and that helped me a lot. Yeah, and also mentally is very important to I uh, I learned how to maybe not enough yet, but to recognize which pains are uh, uh, I have to care for and which ones are okay. So especially the last few months, I had for the first time muscle soreness,
Okay.
you know, the good ones, not the bad ones.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. Great. Now, what is the important things which needs to be taken care of, especially when you are lifting kettlebells at this age? I mean, you can say that post 45 or post 50, when a women start lifting, like you have a 4 or 5 years of experience, what are the things which has to be taken care of before you start progressing with the kettlebell? Say, for example, you are doing 12 kg long cycle, or maybe if you're doing 16 kg long cycle, and then you want to move to 20 kg long cycle. What are the things which has to be taken care of before you lift heavier weight? What does your experience say?
Well, you have to do it safe. So the technical part is most important, not your not your strength, I guess. So I started with a 6 kilogram kettlebell. I couldn't do a push up with it, so I couldn't get it
Push.
over
Yes.
there. I, so it took a long time before but so I couldn't do a push press. But when Jaap in that case showed me how to snatch it, suddenly I thought, wow, you don't have to be that strong to get that thing up in the air. So that was quite nice to feel that you are master of 6 kilograms. So I think that is the you have to be a little bit brave to go, and then you need a, if you are, I guess, if you are not very sporty, you need a very good trainer and coach who shows you how to do it. So
Okay,
Yeah.
so you say that the technique is important, of course. I mean,
Mm.
apart from that, if you want to add anything, like for example, generally people post 40, post 50 will have some or the other injuries, right? For example, if there is a lower back issue, if there is a neck issue, if there is a frozen shoulder like you had. So the precautions to be taken care if you want to add something here.
Yes, find someone who knows how to handle these things, because it's not a limitation uh, to go to a gym and work out when you are injured. So if there's a good person that can help you um, physically, but also mentally, so that was very important to me. After a while, training with Jaap, he asked me, maybe you are stressed a little bit. So I looked at him and said, stressed?
Mhm.
Well, I just didn't. It was totally not in my mind that it could be a kind of stress thing that made me want to train so much. So yeah.
Okay, okay, I understand. Okay, very important. Next would be your training is well, but it will not go really well if you are not eating very well. So, at this age, how does your nutrition look? First, do you take any supplements? Second, what kind of general nutrition do you follow? Like, do you eat non-vegetarian food? What is the frequency? If not, if you're having vegetarian, like what are your sources of protein? So generally, if you can give me an idea of what is the nutrition, especially at this age, because
Yes.
the challenge would be the digestion also simultaneously. So yeah, if you can just give a little bit background about it.
Yeah. Well, for the supplements,
Mm-hmm.
um, because of my age in the Netherlands, we do some general practitioners want to do some blood work. So they figured out I had not enough vitamin D.
Okay.
So, and not enough vitamins B12. So I supplement those, and I also do omega 3,
Omega-3.
omega
Mm-hmm.
fish oil thing,
Yes. Yes.
and with that some magnesium. So that's it for the supplements. Yes, I also supplement creatine.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, and then my general eating habits are a lot of vegetables,
Okay.
um, a little bit of carbs, most from sweet potato or a little bit of brown rice. Um, I do a lot of lentils or and beans. So
Okay.
I'm not a vegetarian, but I don't want to eat a lot of meat, so I do some chicken,
Okay.
um, fish, uh, most of the time, two or three times a week. I have some fish
Okay.
with and yeah, of course, fruit
Okay.
and
Okay.
uh, some dairy products.
Okay. Curd or something like that. Cheese
Well,
cottage.
yeah, fresh cheese, for example. So there are a lot of proteins in it.
Okay.
So, and
Okay.
I do sometimes I do some protein powder
Okay.
for after training
Okay.
in some skimmed milk or so.
Okay. Okay. I understand.
Yeah.
That looks nice. Great. So, you have any in the past 4 or 5 years have any negative experience about kettlebells at this age? Maybe not injury, but something else, or maybe injury. I don't know. You share it.
Okay. Yeah. Well, one of the things of kettlebell sport is that you can't do it every day. So, but I talked about that already. Um, oh, well, if you would ask my husband, he
Mhm.
would say he has to that we have to take those kettlebells on vacation. So I want them in the car. So well, that's one of the things that it's really addictive to
Yes,
me.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
and yeah, that's
So, any negative experience about if you had in few years?
um, no, no, a
Okay,
negative experience. No,
okay,
I can't think of it. Yeah.
okay, okay. Importance of having a coach in your program. First of all, very important is, have you ever trained without a coach? You yourself, even though you have an experience, have you ever tried of coaching yourself without a coach and coaching with a coach? So maybe you can give a little bit of merits, demerits about it. Your
No,
experience.
I can't say didn't have any knowledge of any strength training. I didn't know how it worked at all. So doing kettlebell would have been not possible for me to do it on my own.
Okay.
So that's it. Yeah. Oh, I did train the triathlon thing. I did without a coach. I just bought a book and did my programming myself, but well, that didn't work out very well. So I wouldn't say. Well, I did some very nice triathlons, but I wouldn't recommend it to anyone to do that. So
Okay. Okay.
certainly not with the kettlebells. So yeah.
Okay, cool. So your best, if you can share your best kettlebell sport numbers,
Yes, I searched
national,
for it.
international.
Well, it's kind of fun to see everyone struggling with what their numbers are. I always thought that I was the only one that didn't know how many reps I did for the best, but well, here we go. I with the 12 kilograms, I did jerk 69.
12 is single 12?
Now doubles
Doubles, yes. Okay.
jerk. Yeah.
Okay. So that is biathlon?
Yeah, also snatch 147 with the 12
Okay.
kilogram. Yeah. Um, I did. I put the numbers in, but it isn't a 10 minutes. But we did have a small event this year where we could do a triathlon, and I and pick out any weight you wanted to do. So
Mhm.
what I did is for the snatch, I did my first 14 kilogram snatch for 6 minutes, and I did 88 reps.
Okay.
So that
Okay.
was a nice start, I guess, for that.
Yes.
Long cycle, I think I have 57 reps with
With
the 12 kilogram.
double 12.
Yeah,
Okay.
we don't do any one arm long cycle in the Netherlands.
Why?
Um, well, I'm not sure. We just don't do them. Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
we find it more attractive to do the the doubles.
Okay.
Uh, because somehow I think we think it's too easy to do it.
Okay.
Just a one arm long cycle. So doubles are what we do.
Okay.
Only a snatch, of course, is a one arm.
1 hour. Yes.
Yeah. So um, well, yes, that's what I think are my personal bests. Um, so I hope I will.
On marathon?
Well, I don't do a marathon, so this
Okay.
this is all I did,
Okay.
and I will keep it that way because I don't want to do uh, things for a long time because of the injuries.
Mhm.
So,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
uh,
Okay.
maybe in the future I will try something, but not. I When I entered a big event, like in the first time I went to an international event was in Porto.
Mhm.
I got a very serious. I had a very serious arthritis in this joint over here.
Okay.
So, um, and then we went to Hungary.
Hungary. Uh-huh.
Yeah, I also was injured then. So
Okay.
I want, first I want to do things without injuries, and then I will go to the next level
I
and do
understand.
longer.
Okay. Okay. Great. Wow. Great. That's a interesting journey.
Yes,
Yeah, I mean, it's motivational to see that you're doing is at this age. Generally, people feel very demotivated to lift any weight. So it's nice
yeah,
to see that.
yes. And
Great.
it's funny because I just met a few weeks ago one of my former hockey mates.
Mhm.
She's a little bit older than I am. She is also still running a lot and doing tennis, but she doesn't play any hockey anymore.
Okay.
But she asked what I was doing, and then she said to me, do you have arm muscles?"
Mhm.
And I said, "Yes, I do have." And then she was looking like this and asked me, "Can I see them?" So I really had to laugh, but I showed them to her. She said, "Wow." Yeah.
Great. So yeah, we are almost on the end. So if you can just give the best message to the women lifters out here in India who are getting started with the sport post 40, or even those who are into 50s, message to them.
Yes. Well, what I didn't mention, but what I think is really, really, really important is that when you are going into menopause, you will I didn't know anything about it, although I'm very well educated. But animals don't have menopause, so that is a hole in my education. And when the general practitioners kept saying it's because of menopause, all those injuries. But they didn't give me the opportunity to do hormone replacement therapy. So I just got recently, I had to travel for that to England, but there I found some very good practice that gave me HRT, and that really makes a huge difference. So in how I feel, so that is one very important thing. And if you are 40, it and you will have well your periods still, and but if you are thinking, well, something is not right, I'm just not feeling right, and you are getting into perimenopause, please get to your general practitioner and talk about it, because that is very important if you want to stay healthy. And I don't say you have to take HRT, but strength training is also very important. And I think if you do the strength training right, you can do without the HRT. Hopefully,
Okay. Okay.
that
That's a
will be
nice.
my message.
Yes. Yes. So when did you do HRT?
I started half a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
We went to Paris
Okay.
uh, to the European Championship over there, um, and then I had really I suffered from tendonitis in both of my arms afterwards. So I was really angry that it happened to me. I already felt it during competition over there, and I couldn't perform as I wanted. I did a triathlon over there, so well, I had nice numbers, but it just didn't feel right. And I took all the precautions. I did my training well, but I got injured afterwards. I couldn't do much. I loved to knit, for instance. I couldn't knit. I couldn't move my fingers.
Okay.
So, and then I thought, well, if they are saying it's because of menopause, then I want my hormones back now. So I started to search And then I found this podcast. It's from Louise Newson. And then there are over 200 podcasts on Spotify. I listened to them all. I started to listen to them, and then it all started. And there's also this really good scientist. Her name is Stacy Sims,
Okay.
and you can find her on the internet. And she is the one that is not from the HRT, but from the strength
Okay.
training. And she is very scientific.
Okay.
So it's good stuff.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
it
good. That's
helped
a
me a
really good
lot.
advice because generally women out here will not be aware of HRT. And as you mentioned, there are not many things HRT, and one is doing the strength training because that will also help you the pre-menopausal stage. And as you mentioned that once you entered into the menopause, then it's going to be very hard for a woman, and HRT can be one of the solutions, right?
Yes, and well, we women aren't small men, so that is we have to train different from men.
Yeah, yeah. Great, great. That's a great information to end the podcast, and I'm sure this will be a huge beneficial for the women if they listen to this podcast completely and take a lot of valuable information given by you. So
Yes,
I would like to really thank you for being a part of this podcast, and I wish you good luck for your upcoming competition, whether it is a national or whether it is an international competition. And look forward to see you next time whenever we are on the international tour.
but I really enjoyed it, and I'm having a lot of joy looking at your podcasts and
Oh,
see all the women around the world. Uh, well, that's great. Thank you
yes,
for
yes.
that.
Thank you. Thank you.